Thank you. Hey.
Hey, how are
Oh my
you?
goodness, so excited. I'm wonderful. I am absolutely wonderful. The sun is actually up, which is nice because we've got that time change thing going on, right?
Yes. Yeah. It's I live though enough south when I'm in the summer, I'm much more north. And in the summer, we'll start getting sunrise at 4 a.m. We have to buy blackout curtains. Yeah. And it lasts till about 9. Down here, it's later in the morning. Right now it's about 7 o'clock that the sun comes up.
Okay, yeah, right around the same time because it's 7:43 here and the sun is up. So when I do my
Yeah.
first live, it's dark. It's really,
Mhm.
really dark. Yeah. Yeah. So
So
I am so excited to talk about our paths. I had so much fun this morning. I showed Ralph my birth chart so he could have some understanding.
yes.
Yeah, now he's just like, well, it's a clear picture, that's for sure, right?
Hmm. Yep.
Yeah,
It's
and
it's
that's where
it's
our paths begin.
that's where our paths begin. In astrology, of course, the belief is that you kind of have this conversation about what you're here to work on this lifetime. Whether it's your first time here, your 50th time here, who knows?
Sure.
And so the moment you're born, there's a picture taken, and
Mhm.
it doesn't mean it's all pre-described, and that's what people don't seem to understand. It means these are the tools you brought in, these were the conversations, these are the things you are working on, and how you use them in whatever timeline version you access, because it's all happening at once. Time is our idea, which is why it's a picture just taken um, at the moment you re-enter. And it's the energy, the tools that you use. And when we're talking about our paths, sometimes having something to refer back to. Some people use cards, some people use astrology, some people use a lot of tools, um, just to get a clarification as to what energy is accessible, is in front of them. Perhaps they can manifest an influence. So um, I have rarely met a person who understands exactly what their path is. Most of the people who I've met who seem to have a bigger understanding realize that every moment is a step on the path, you know. So,
Well, I mean, that's the only way to really look at it. Um, One of the beauties of this continual winter season here in Edmonton is snow.
mhm,
And that's really evident when you step into the snow. You see the path as you take each step. You see there's no path in front of you. And the only
right.
way that you can see a path is to turn around.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. It's pretty wild.
Mm-hmm. It is pretty wild. And
It's pretty wild. And I
I'm
wonder how many people um, have, I'm going to pop a poll up here. There we go. Show. Have you had your birth chart done? Because that's really interesting. I'm finding more and more people that are like, no. And then you helped me not that long ago, last week, with the chart with Ralph and I.
mm-hmm.
What's that called?
Synastry or composite.
Wow. Explain that, please.
So we all have a birth chart. Most people understand that there's a chart taken, but there are several different ways to read the stars. When your birthday comes, I read what your birthday year, what I call it your upgrade of your system. You know, just like you turn on your computer and you get the thing you must upgrade, you must upgrade. Your birthday's kind of an upgrade. So it's a time to pause and kind of look at what are the lessons of that year. A synastry chart, which you can do with your children, you can do with your parents, friend, business partner. A synastry chart talks about the bargains you made with each other. So, in a partnership or in childhood, very much it's about the houses that they're in. So, in other words, houses, planets are what we talk about. Um, the
Oh,
sign they're in is the
TikTok
energy.
restricted me. Go figure.
Um,
Oh, well, you can catch us on YouTube, friends. Sorry.
what happened?
Stupid TikTok. TikTok wouldn't let me film us. I don't know.
Oh, welcome to TikTok, especially probably because I'm in the United States and they're doing a lot of suppression in the United States. I said it.
Yeah.
Um, so, um, and the houses in your chart tell you where it's happening in your life. And so when you're looking at a relationship, you have different
Mhm.
places this might be affecting in your chart, different areas of your chart.
Yeah.
So it really does tell you kind of what your bargains are, especially if you do it with your children. Then there's kind of a progression that happens with your children where you started, it really was about your houses and the areas and what you were here to teach them. And then as time goes on, it switches about what they're here to teach you as
Yeah.
you. And then a combination chart is really great once you've actually looked at probably your synastry, what you kind of signed up in your partnership for. A combination chart tells you where the midpoint of your energies are, where the midpoint of those planets meet, and kind of a place to bargain. It's not as much about houses because it's the combination and it's fairly complicated, but it does tell you what energy you can meet on, what you have that is the midpoint to find balance. And so combination charts are very interesting to get done because they allow you to work and have a plan like, oh, I know that I do this way and they do it this way. And this kind of energy in between allows us to find neutral ground. So
Yeah.
very interesting.
I find it very helpful for different types of relationships. We did ours, which was so
Mhm.
beautiful.
It was fun.
I think it would be really fun the next time that someone goes into an interview and says, "Excuse me, can you tell me what time your date of birth and what time you were born and where? Because I want to do a synergy chart to see if I am able to have a relationship with you so that a year down the line, you don't go, what the fuck?"
I think combination charts would be very interesting when you're in partnerships that you think are working. I would use a synastry chart um, to look at are we here? Are our lessons going to move this business along, or are they going to cut? You know, we learn something from everybody. We
Oh,
attract.
for
Even
sure.
Rumi said this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, Combination charts kind of help you find your neutral ground. Where is the
Yeah, they
common
really do.
energy that
Really.
you and it's not either of yours, so that's why it's the common ground. Where is the point that you meet? And then if you need, like there were some things with you, it's all right if I share, isn't it?
Yes.
With you and your husband, where you had real similar energies. So it was important to look at the where is this? Like this might be more in my family, but this might be more in my career, this energy where we meet. So knowing the other person's area is about, I know this is your worry, but this is my worry, and finding a place to have that communication about.
Oh, it
Um,
helps with communication so much because I get my ideas from spirit.
mhm.
Anybody that's worked with me has had that aha moment where it's like, wow, like I just follow the sparkles. Like I really, truly do. And then someone like you helps me put those pieces together. And someone like Ralph helps me keep my feet on the ground.
Yes, he definitely is that for you. Yes.
Yeah, like he is that. I've got a beautiful.
And your
It's like
job is to pull him off the ground a little bit.
Steady Eddie is fabulous, and
Yeah.
my coach helped me with this years ago, 2 years ago, and I'm the one that lifts him up and says, like, you know what, I know that we're gonna hold off on this, and right, like move that needle forward, move that needle forward. I do that with my kids too. I know that you aren't quite ready to meet with the accountant yet, and we need an appointment tomorrow.
Mhm.
Season is coming, right? Like these are things that need to be done. Did you send that letter? Did you, mom? And it's like, yes. Guess what you're getting for your birthday this year, dear? You're going to meet Kitty because this is bullshit. And right, like for fuck's sakes, Chansey, I love you. And we know our children are different.
Yes.
And an understanding of it, it just clears away the fog and frustration, right?
Well, and especially as we look at the progress or the progress, whoever you are, what you say, is as it becomes more about their areas, we can only influence it, but they're also teaching us more about that area that we in our chart have gotten very familiar with. But here's this other bargain for us to take a look at it. And it's fascinating. One of the most fascinating charts I ever did was with a mutual friend of ours who had an NDE. And I compared her original bargains with the bargains she came back with.
Wow.
And they were different, but there was a midpoint. The combination of those is quite interesting. How does this show up in your family life? How did this now show up in your what makes you flow? Just that was a very interesting chart to read.
That is so interesting. I was talking, I had a group coaching call on Monday, and I was explaining claircognizance. And Chris says, yeah, intuition. I'm like, no.
Yes, no.
Intuition is a gut feeling. Claircognizance is a knowing.
My understanding of astrology is a clear cognizance
Yeah. Yeah.
because it's just a
It's
knowing
so
you
interesting.
have. Yes.
And that's with me and my mediumship.
Hmm.
I I know.
Hmm.
And then I'll get a knowing first, and then spirit will show me pictures. Like I
Yes.
remember doing one where I said, it's a delivery. He was a delivery man. And then I'm like, in a brown suit, like a courier. And then I got whiskey and a car. And she's like, my dad was a UPS driver. He drank whiskey, and his race car was a pace car. And I'm like, yeah, like that.
Hmm.
Yeah. So, and different mediums have different ways. I recently connected with my friend Gail, and she's very like she's chikai 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 chikai, and then she does this really neat stop, stop, as she's getting the information from spirit. So different.
Yep.
so different. And there's a beauty in that.
Well,
Yeah.
I would tell you as an astrologist, it's also the way you're put together to get your information. These are the bargains. There are skills and energy. That's where the sign comes in, the energy we use. So you may have more air energy that gets pictures with understanding, or it gets the picture so because you have a lot of air energy and it doesn't want to talk to you because it doesn't want the words in it. She may get it in sounds and processing because she has a lot of fire and wait a minute, I gotta find what the next or flowing with it. It kind of depends on how we decided to even look at spirit coming into this life, you know.
Mm.
Um, I have my spirit placement in Scorpio, in my work, in the house of what I'm here to do my work, which means I do get some pictures. I get mainly they tell me something. And it's sometimes it's so off the wall. I'm like, well, they're showing me blah, and they just said these words.
Mhm.
Just I have not, and I'm not attached to it at all. You know, one of the things I years ago in a mediumship group, um, people would say, well, how do you know if it's yours or it's not yours? And I remember sitting there thinking, I don't care. It just comes to me. I repeat it. It's not mine because it's too random to be random. I don't have any emotional attachment to this whatsoever. And if somebody says, "Well, that doesn't mean anything," I go, "Okay." Like pin it. It may
Well,
mean something. Yeah.
yeah. And I think that's the beauty of the chaos that we're in now within the collective consciousness. Like here on Earth, it's really chaotic. And yet the galactic consciousness, the planets, well, that's not that planets, it's the fucking ships around us that are taking care of business. And that's really hard to understand.
It's not in
Um,
it's not in it's in our subconscious, but on our conscious paradigm. It's coming more.
yeah, the closest we can do is start explaining Star Trek and stuff because that really makes us sound much more sane, right?
Um, and this is what when we talk about our path,
Mm.
we all hold a different piece on this path. We're working together and we're doing it separately. But that is what we signed up for human consciousness. We didn't sign up to know it all. As a matter of fact, the more I meet people who are so sure they know not what they know, but that everything is, I have to step back because my favorite expression, as you've heard me say many times, is my own life is barely my business, you know.
Yes,
Uh,
yes, yes.
and so if you have an ability to see this overall, it's not my place to judge or not, but it feels way too expansive for me to use in my path because
Yep.
it's one foot in front of the other. And I question what is the path? What is the path? And then understand, as you've come to understand, it's about
Hmm.
trust, joy, and just walking.
Well, and that's it too. And I think that when we, whoops, wrong poll. Stop poll. Create.
I think it's really cool she can do this, by the way, guys, because this is beyond my band.
Oh, I have fun with technology. But when you look at where are you on your path now? Lost? Completely fucked? Moving forward.
I
And I
would say
mean,
you're
there
always moving forward. It just may not be within consciousness, yes.
all of the above, right?
Mhm.
Because we are in a completely fucked situation many ways. Like sideways.
Well, it's
uh,
evolutionary, and
or
we don't know where we're going.
no,
And so
and we
that's
can't
always yeah,
control that. And
right.
that's where there's the beauty. Three candles. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot
Cannot change.
change. Change
The
what I can.
courage to change what I can, and the
Yeah.
wisdom
Yeah.
to know the difference.
It's beautiful, right? It's beautiful.
And actually, have a tremendous gift in the stars right now as we have Neptune in Aries. Aries is the first sign. We're in a new 165-year cycle for spirituality, flow. And we also have Saturn. The last time they traveled together was 6,000 years ago, the age of metal. And we have
What kind?
this,
Was that the age of heavy metal? I thought that was the 80s.
no, the age of metal. Technology
Yeah.
is really kind of the beginning of the industrial.
Well, and
If
it's
you go back
hard
and look at
to relate
history,
to that.
right? And
Like,
this is about personal responsibility, personal creation of structures that work for you. This is the third part of that serenity prayer, and the wisdom to know the difference. What structures? Where am I taking my own responsibility for what is mine? And again, my own life is barely my business when I spend that
yes,
time.
yes.
And letting go of those other structures of ways things have to be, or other people are buying into or creating for themselves. This is the age of personal responsibility to create the structures in
Well,
this
and there's
new.
where the beauty comes in with the personal responsibility. It's understanding how, like with me, this side of my head, that's a big one. That's when spirit's speaking on my left side. Like I really hear that, and I'll ask questions inside my head. You know that I've been planning some time in September, and I just know they're helping. That's all I know. I know that I'm going places. How long I'm staying, I don't know yet. I need to be fiscally responsible. So sometimes that means um, taking a flight to Thunder Bay and then staying longer than I'm comfortable instead of going back every week.
Mhm.
And I'm like, what do you mean staying? Like, are you
Yeah.
nuts? And then I'm like, okay, what would that look like? Then the planner comes out, right? And it's
Mhm.
always on a whiteboard. So it's always changeable. It's malleable.
And sometimes in my life, the plan I set this way
Mm,
literally was a distraction so I could get to the time because I needed to do this. But without having worked this way, I
yeah.
just I just kind of had that happen recently. I had many things I was trying to do in a period of time off from I teach 2 days a week in school,
Mhm.
and everything I set up started or seemed to be, and then it switched.
Yeah.
And ultimately, what the plan was for me to be able to walk the beach 7 days in a row for some kind of alignment. And I knew that when
Mm,
the thought showed up, oh, this is the real plan. So when we look at the path, sometimes make yourself comfortable in the path. Don't force yourself because something else may actually move you. I mean, I literally had a plane ticket, you know this, to go somewhere.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
it didn't work. The
Well,
people I'm visiting,
and that is so true.
yeah.
So true.
So
Yeah.
again, as you are, it makes so much sense to me, and the courage and the wisdom to know the difference. This is where we are, this new wisdom, and the only difference comes through us, not from outside. We're letting go of that. There are other people out there that tell us this is the structure and you'll be happy. A, B, C, go to heaven. Really? you know, really, which is why there's such uh, chaos and weird awakening from going, well, but why are you doing this? And because it's beyond our understanding, is just that, our understanding.
Absolutely. And it's so true. So one thing that I learned is the importance of having a team, someone that
Mhm.
you can trust, someone that empowers you, someone that holds you accountable, and then a mentor. And not just one person for someone that you can trust. We need to have backup. and
Right,
often
because when we
several.
have one person, we put everything outside of us versus
Yes,
this is a toe I'm dipping and I'm getting this, but my job is to
yes.
take it all back in my structure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very important. Very, very, very important. And I mean, your team player may be out for the count
Mhm.
for some time, right? It's often. I mean, I've got mentors that bounce all over the place. I've got a beautiful sticky notes on my computer screen behind my laptop, and it talks about the different relationships in my life. And I have the people that are in the basement people who discourage me, um, who I see by obligation. And the big question is, do they deserve my light?
Mhm.
Big, big, big one. Then I move on to my main floor people. They are my neutral, safe, secure, Ralph, Chance, Jarrett. Then I've got my more meaningful relationships. And then I've got my balcony people, the people that I look up to, or the people that look up to me. And we're talking a lot about the chaos and things in life. So if you think of 3 situations that would impact you the most, what are they? Is it a medical crisis? Natural disaster? Like, I mean, multiple streams of income. There's so many. Like, do you have a fireproof safe? I don't.
I don't either.
It's nice to have your passports in there.
Well, it's very interesting. There is this, do I want to survive?
No, I just want
Every
my passport. I'm talking about just a fire.
but I'm just
Like
talking about in general. But in general, it's also a wider thing in my path.
oh,
When I make those decisions about who's in what level,
yeah.
do there's a unwritten thing that, well, you want to, a survivalist. You want to be able to survive a nuclear or a disaster. And I'm like,
Mhm.
do I?
Yeah, all that weird food in a bag.
Well, do I? It's not about the civilization part, but it is about, do I? You know,
Yep,
Y-
yep. It's same with the age. Do you want to be? I want to live to be 100 and what? Right. Um, that means like all your children are probably dead, and all your
well,
friends too.
and a cabin. I had a grandmother who did that. She outlived several generations, and she wanted to.
Hmm.
Mine is the only caveat for me is I'll live as long as I can go, as long as my body's doing all right. God love those amazing people who keep moving bodies that, you know, they
There's a
can't.
lady here in Edmonton in her 90s who skydives.
Yeah. So
God
that,
bless.
and then so again, do I? If it looks like that, yes. And the thing is, I very young realized that there are many points in our life that you're offered a door or window out. You may have
Mm.
to make the decision to live. Not in a, I'm not talking about people who die from suicide. I'm talking about, but you're kind of, I became aware that this could be one of those choice doors.
Yeah,
And yep, I still want to at this point,
yeah.
you know? Um,
Well, and that's in the beauty of what brings us all together. I
it's
know
our
that
past.
yeah, and I mean, I've spoken to you about the Avalon Spirit Summit coming up in Whistler at the end of March. Um, when I found out about that, I mean, I put one toe in, one toe out, one toe in, one toe out. How can I possibly do this? And so I sat with it, and then I looked at plane fares, I looked at accommodations, I did all of those things. And then I waited, which is hard for me, to see how spirit
It's the end of
moved.
May, right? You said March, but it's the end of
Oh,
May. Yeah.
May, yeah, May 27th. is when
Yeah.
I'm going down to June 3rd. It's the Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And our darling friend Daphne is speaking there too. Like it's beautiful, and it's hard not to be everywhere, right? Hard.
It is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's hard.
That seems
But
to have a little bit of a circle around it. I just found out our last day of school is the 27th.
yeah.
Um, you know, or my last day of school is the 27th. Um, it's a different year than we all have different plans because we thought, oh, we'll take right off. Well, my husband just got the thing for jury duty he has to respond to on the 21st of May. So
It,
I
it's the unexpected, right? Like we're like, okay. Um, yeah. And I have learned, I've got sticky notes all over my window. And I think one of the ones that really helps me now, today, in this moment, is protect your peace,
Mhm.
prioritize yourself, and keep your word 100% of the time. Most importantly, your word to yourself.
Yeah, it's similar to the 4 agreements. Be
Mm-hmm.
impeccable with your word,
Yeah.
make no assumptions,
Mm-hmm.
um, realize that it's not personal.
Yeah, that's a
And I
that's a
always
good one.
yeah, it's not personal. What other people do is not my business. My own
Yep.
life is purely my business.
Mm-hmm.
And, always do your best.
Yeah, and that's it, right? It's hard.
And the
That's
5th agreement, be curious and learn to listen.
Oh, yes, that one. Seek first to understand, then be understood.
Right. I mean, he would have said it's be skeptical, but learn to listen. But you and I have had our conversation about the word but. As soon as you
And
say but,
yeah,
you've negated what you said before.
the only but there is the one that's on your ass. Think about that one first before you speak.
Right. And so that's why, and skeptical is curious to me. Skeptical is, I
Yeah.
don't know if so because skeptical has for me a more dense expression around it.
Hmm.
Like it's more in the judgment realm. Curious. So be curious
Yeah.
and learn to listen because what
Yeah.
you're listening for is did I make it personal? Is
Yeah.
is my action my best? Is, am I making an assumption?
Well, and when you bring curiosity in, you begin to act like one of the 100-acre wood characters. All of a
Yep,
sudden, you're more like Winnie the Pooh, um, Piglet, and Tigger. What are we going to do today, Pooh?
right. And curiosity allows me to use my own screen. Again, other people's lives barely my business. My own life is barely my business. Um, when I'm curious, it means I'm trusting that I have the ability and the capability, necessarily to make a decision, but to not just take how many centuries have we looked outside ourselves for wise people that the balcony would tell us what to do. No, the balcony is somebody. Why are they on the balcony for you? Because they want they're removing your own responsibility? Or are they in the
Mm,
balcony because they're living a life and there's an energy around them that empowers you? So,
yes. Yes. And there's a beauty in that. There's
mhm,
such a beauty in that because that light that you are drawn to is within you.
right. There's a reason that
Yeah.
shows up. There is an
Yeah.
absolute
It is.
and this is part of our evolution is as mankind we try to do it physically, you know, and it's amazing to me how there are obviously some flawed leaders out there,
Oh, sure.
and yet you have people that compare them to leaders of the past that have clearly understood something, and it's like, where are you getting that?
No, no, it's much more spirit. As soon as you said that, started singing that song, and it's like 50s, 60s, the leader of the pack, vroom,
Yep,
vroom.
yep,
And that leader went around the bend and crashed. So you can't put all your eggs in one basket.
Well,
Gosh, we could talk about that a million ways, right?
oh, look at what I just picked up. I was drawn to it. It says, "Tend the flame that chose you. Let it rise with quiet power." And
Wow.
that's what we're talking about in the path is nobody sees what I can see, for back of my eyes there's only me, and nobody knows what I must know, for only I can hear my soul. And so this idea that, are there guides out there? Absolutely. But the minute you find a conflict between what they're saying and what you're thinking, if you're looking at being curious and learning to listen, that's where you go, "No, that may be true for you, but that's not me." Again, this is this evolution that we were all born with this. Oh, I love that card.
Swan dive. Swan dive. Be daring.
Hmm.
Be daring. One of the
It's
most
fun.
beautiful things that we do is to understand what our excuses are.
Oh, I pulled out.
That's
I
the
thought I had
Awakening Avalon.
I thought I had Awakening Avalon. Well, I do have it in there, but instead, the cards that came up are called Sacred Spiral.
Oh, cool.
And the card that
Cool.
comes out, number 32, the Joyful Maker, play as a pathway with the dragon.
Mm-hmm. And
Make the,
that's it too. Yeah.
doing
Yeah.
something
And I mean,
small and sacred
God
moment.
knows that you and I have not been here for a while, and we could
Mhm.
stay on here all day.
Yes,
And we will say, see you next Wednesday. Oh, I'm so glad that we're back together every Wednesday.
I am too.
Yeah.
I'm glad to have the discussions and see what comes up.
Me
We
too.
needed a pause, and we're back.
And we're back. Yeah, the entire North Americas,
Mhm.
Canada,
And the US. So,
United States. So
mhm.
why follow any other leader when you can follow us?
We're only here to help you be your own leader, okay?
Exactly, right? I ain't fucking putting up anything that's in there. Like, please, right? Follow your joy, follow your bliss, follow your
Yes.
wisdom, follow your integrity, right? Like, there's so much.
Your
There's
own
so
moral
much.
compass is your own moral compass, not what anybody else tells you. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah. So
there's
beautiful.
no
So
book,
beautiful.
there's no,
Mm-mm.
panacea. Here is the way. The way, the truth, and the light come via you.
That's right. Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. So here comes that lovely music. Ready?